I'm recording. I am recording. I am recording. Here we go. Just gonna play the song. Okay. Hello, friends and future friends. Thank you so much for tuning into Earth to Inaya. I am your host, and today's episode is basically just the introduction. I'm going to talk a little bit about myself, why I chose to start a podcast in the first place, and just talk about probably what I hope to see happen with this whole thing. At this moment, I am also recording via Zoom, and that this video is going to be uploaded on YouTube as well. So after listening here, you can go ahead and subscribe to my YouTube, because along with the podcast, I hope to be doing maybe like vlogs or things to hold myself accountable to things that I'm learning. And I really want to apply new routines and stuff like that. So I look forward to all of that. But yeah, thanks for being here right now. My name is Inaya, if you did not know. I am 24 years old. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, which is pretty cool. I don't mind it too much. Things have been weird with COVID and everything, and the way that we've been affected because of like how the economy and stuff is based here. So all of that stuff has been interesting. The last 3 years I was working at a warehouse, and it was in that time that I started to really talk to people who came from various backgrounds and different life experiences, and it just opened my eyes so much. And I realized that I was meeting new people every day and asking questions and having just the most interesting conversations, always wishing that like there was a camera with me or a way that we could be recording on conversations. I wasn't even listening to podcasts yet at this point, like the last 3 years. But everything comes around in its time. It was after COVID had already broke out, I guess you would say, when I watched Midnight Gospel on Netflix. If you haven't checked out Midnight Gospel, I definitely recommend it. It's a very, very interesting show. And the script is actually based off of podcast episodes that were already recorded. So that was super cool when I had learned that fact. I looked into podcasts after that, and just with everything going on and everybody being in isolation, I think that is what really helped make this such a big thing for everybody. Everybody can do it. You can have a podcast about anything. And so when people have been asking me, like, Ennaoj, what is your podcast going to be about? What are you going to talk about? Everything is my answer, because there's truly nothing that is not, able to be talked about with me. Honestly, I'm so curious. I have so many questions myself, and I just would love to give up my platform up to dedicate, to learn. Sorry, I'm like getting distracted watching myself in the Zoom video, but yeah, basically that's it. With podcasts, I was exposed to them because I was tired of listening to the same music, and everybody was suddenly at home and not with people anymore, socializing. And yeah, so I started listening to a lot of podcasts at work. If you are somebody who has me on Instagram, you'd see that I streamed, I think it was like 10 episodes in one day of Duncan Trussell, the guy who did Midnight Gospel. His podcast was so interesting to me. So interesting. So many different topics for him as well, because he just has a new guest and he asks them about their hobbies and interests and experiences and stuff like that. And I feel like that's probably what a lot of this is going to be too, which is really cool. I have a lot of cool friends who I'm like really proud of, so I would love to be able to give them a space as well. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about me, like as much that I'm going to share right now without getting into any of my own little stories. And I'm really I wanted to do my own video, I guess, or podcast episode first by myself before I had anybody on. Reluctantly, I much would have preferred to have a guest on. I think that would have helped me, because I'm kind of lost right now. I don't know what else to say. But yeah, I think just more reasons why I want to do this for myself. Last year, I had a big awakening within myself where I was just realizing like things aren't going to happen in just like this order that I thought that they were going to happen. Like, because I had been through so much years prior. I think that's pretty much the gist of it, is that I had so much stuff built up that I had gone through and experienced, and it boiled over. And I was really confused. Like, okay, so life isn't what I thought it was going to be or where it was headed. Now I have all this extra stuff and problems. Like, what do I do? And I started looking into like my self-help stuff without going to like a therapist or a counselor or anything at that time, because I was really kind of just like trying to figure it out with myself. Like, what does all of this mean? And a lot of the stuff that I was coming across too was very like out there, honestly, not gonna lie. Like, it led me down a very esoteric spiritual path, and I can't wait to dive into all of that stuff. I love talking about conspiracy theories and spirituality and different religions and people and beliefs, and like what reality is and what everything is. Like, I just think all of that is so interesting, because I had never thought for so long. I didn't think that any of that was like actually possible. Like, was so 3D, third dimensional, that like, because I was told that that's what it was. But I remember being a kid and like having the craziest imagination and like watching all these TV shows and movies and stuff of magical worlds, and then just being like, dang, but we don't live there. But I think we do. So I can't wait to get into all of that stuff. Definitely. But yeah, I was like last year that I was going through all of these different like realizations within myself, and I had to really like look myself in the face in the mirror and be like, you have this issue you act like this and you think like this, and that's a problem because of that. And because I did all of that, and I journaled, I started journaling. Like, I have right here with me actually one of my journals, the first one that I had started, and I had to like literally write down and tell myself, like, watch what you say about yourself and how you think about yourself. Like, that's not okay. And I had to kind of make up what life means to me. You know, like, what is it gonna, how is it gonna be meaningful to me? What's gonna make me want to do things? Because I was I came to the point where if I didn't feel like I was headed in the path that I thought I was going to end up, and I was just sad, it was like, what's the point, So it's like safe to say I was pretty depressed, and that's like something that I still kind of struggle with. Um, that'll be its own episode, I'm sure, in itself, because I know I'm not the only one by far. I know my friends go through stuff, and we're all just trying to figure it out. It's a lot. It's a lot to be in the position where you can't necessarily take the time that you need for yourself to care for yourself, because of demands of work, um, family, things like that. So I think if I can at least be a friend for an hour or so to somebody, where you can listen to people who have been through the same things as you or are going through the same things as you, then you'll know you're going to get through it. I'm so glad that in the last month, with all of the crazy like heaviness that have felt, and in this past year, I'm so happy that right now where I am, I'm sticking it out. I'm so grateful for that. And I just want to see everybody else get to that point, and it wouldn't have, like, I didn't do it by myself. I did it with so many books and podcasts and friends, and all of the ways that we've had to come up with it with the pandemic going on, not being able to see everybody and talk face to face and like do all of that stuff all the time. So this is pretty cool. I'm pretty excited. Um, yeah, I can't wait. Can't wait to have more people on here. I have a lot of family members who are super duper duper interesting too, and I think that that'll be really fun to have them on here. Um, Friends who are musicians, friends who are artists, or who are working towards like really, really, really cool things in their life, like for them. Um, I want to construct a bucket list for like probably the first time ever and really go through with it. And so hopefully this podcast just helps me stick to all of those things and like really keep my word to myself. Like, this is another thing that is like for me. And I've been putting so much of my energy right now into social media, like on Twitter and Instagram, and mostly just Twitter and Instagram and like Snapchat and stuff, because I've picked up a lot of hobbies. And I'm going to put a note right there that I picked up a lot of hobbies, because I want to come back to that. But all of that stuff has helped me so much, and I think that's what I was going with this. I can't believe I just lost my thought like that. But yeah, I guess we're just gonna go into the hobbies. Something that has been really, really, really scary for me, but I'm so grateful that I just went for it, was this year I decided upon myself to go for all of the things that I wanted to do when I was younger, that maybe I tried and gave up, because I didn't think I was like learning it or gonna pick it up or like would be good enough. So I went back and I'm doing those things now, which would include the ukulele. So when I was younger, I tried playing the guitar. I was in choir most of my life, which is so cool. Like, I'm so happy that I have the memories that I have from choir, and like I just love it. Just love it. But the ukulele I learned earlier, I think this year, or well, I started playing last year, but I like really, really, really got into it this year. And I love it. I love it knowing that like I self-taught, that I have the ability to pick up something, that I thought I wasn't going to be able to do. And I know it's just the ukulele, but next is the guitar. And then I did it. I did the thing that I wanted to do when I was little, and I quit. So, that's really, really, really cool. And I think that that's like, a healing thing for me. And I want to keep track of all of those things because it became so relevant years and years later down the line, all of the things that hurt me. It's like, well, what about all of the things that I really wanted to do that were important to me? Like, can I still do those even though I'm 24 years old? And it was like, how long ago? But with all of those things, it's like anything I wanted to do that I gave up, I want to go back. Like, I just want to do it. I want to complete it and finish it out and say that I was able to do so. So, the ukulele. Another thing is books. Like, I love reading books, and I have so many books that I have not finished. So, I want to do that. I want to finish all of my books. I want to write a book. I have one that's like, it's been in the works for some years now, but I would love to publish it and more. Like, everything, just everything that I wanted to do for myself and didn't. I'm going to go back and do it. I've decided. Another hobby that I've picked up that I just love, TikTok has just like convinced me that I needed it, and I realized that I did it. Like, who was I before this? Roller skating. I love roller skating. It's it's just so much fun to be able to groove around and like it's great. Follow me on Instagram if you want to see some roller skating clips. If you're into it too, it's a good community, and that's like hopefully something that um, continues to build. I just want to take all of those little things. Like, I feel like I have like a garden of all these flowers, and I just need to like go in and like love them all and water them all and just do all of the things. And I don't know, like as a Gemini, I'm gonna have a lot of hobbies, I will say. But yeah, there's just so much that I want to talk about and discuss, and already I feel so much more comfortable like talking right now. I can't wait till I actually have another person to go back and forth with. But this is cool too. Like, and maybe in a little bit it won't feel so foreign to me, you know, talking to no one right now. Just talking. But eventually there will be an audience, and that just warms my heart. That makes me so happy to know that I have friends and family who support me right off the bat. So shout out to you guys who are going to listen. And shout out to everybody else who listens afterwards. Like, hopefully this is cool. I'm very optimistic. So many things that pique my interest, you know. And I've had very, very few experiences, I will say, in life. Like, I was pretty sheltered, I would say, growing up. Um, Great memories, like loved it, loved it. I love all that for me. It was great. But I do feel like I'm like catching up now. And I want to experience as much good and positivity and like amazingness that is in this world. And I want to cut back on all of the negative stuff, honestly. Like, I've seen it, not impressed, don't need it. Like, let's learn these lessons and move on, is how I feel. So I just want to fill up more of my time with like the good, you know, the positivity. Like, let's talk about learning something. Let's practice our some languages on here sometimes. Like, you want to come on and teach people something? Do you want to learn something and you want me to look it up and I'll try to like do a quick research and try to teach it? I don't know, you know, it's like it's endless. It's endless. The things that I want to do. Earth to Inaya is really just about my experiences. Sorry, that was such a long pause, but my experience is experiencing you're gonna experience me experience Earth, and basically what it is, and humans, and it's not just being anymore to me. At least for me, it's like, yeah, dude, like we're humans. We've been humans for a really, really long time, and we're on this earth, and now we're like really, I don't know about everybody, but me, I'm like really interacting right now with the other floating bodies in our solar system, the planets and the moon and the sun, and like I have been dipping into astrology for a while now, and it is so interesting, and I can't wait to see like what else evolves from that own science you know, and what else we discover about patterns and human nature. And like, we know the tide or the moon is doing stuff with the tides and like energy and stuff, and we know what the sun gives us and everything. And it's just like, just because the planets are so far, like they're doing something, they're up to something. It's just cool. And that was actually one of the reasons why I jumped in and did this. I feel like I am being supported by these energies to put forth my work and myself, my most authentic self, out there. So it's cool because, it is nice to tweet and delete as I do, or to post on Instagram my favorite selfies or like things that I accomplish. But in a podcast, you've heard me slip up. I've already stuttered and tripped over my words. Um, I may get flustered talking to someone if we don't agree on something. It's real and it's human, and it's like, this is what it is. There are a bunch of people who I talk to now that I had beef with over the years, and we've managed to be friends now. And like, if they're down to talk about it on here and like hash it all out, and you want to do some healing, and if you want to cry about it with me, like, we can cry about it together and we can just do this, and like, it could be fun. So yeah, I hope people are interested in hanging out with me on this podcast. I hope people are interested in hearing about it, hearing what I have to say and like what's going on too. And I can't say that every single episode is going to be good or entertaining or funny or whatever, but it's going to be me trying to do something for myself and for everybody else. And I feel like that is reason enough. Like, way more reason enough. Way more reason enough. So yeah, I'm pretty excited. This podcast is pretty short. I'm not mad about it. But yeah, thank you so much. I can't wait till the next episode, hopefully tomorrow, hopefully with a guest. I'm kind of making everything up as I go. This is, don't even, technicalities, I don't even know. Like I said, I am recording on a Zoom meeting that I'm recording, screen record. Oh, am I screen recording? Oh, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I'm recording this to hopefully upload it onto YouTube. And then my podcast, which I'm going to use Anchor. So if anybody is interested on coming on to an episode, will be using Anchor or Zoom. I like the idea of recording on Zoom so that I can put something onto YouTube, and then recording like with my voice on Anchor. Anchor, you can jump right in. But I think this actually happened because I don't have an adapter for my headset. So I was going to do everything off my computer. I have my phone and my computer running right now, but I didn't have an adapter that I needed. So like I said, anyways, I'm a whole mess. It's okay. Doing it as I go, it's going fine, I'm excited. Thank you so much for listening. Can't wait to be talking to you again. Have a great day. Bye.